And joining us is our boy Barstool Nate. What up, Nate Dog? How you doing?
Fellas, how's the golf tournament?
It's fun, dude.
We're watching.
We're about to watch Cakes from the Junks warm up, which should be pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I bet you have a great swing. Yeah, no. Cakes can smack that ball. You watch out for Cakes.
I think my guess. I know Valdez can play. I don't know about Johnny Cakes. He says he plays once a year, and I think he'll be all
people
right.
that play once a year. That's funny to me.
I'll say this. Besides you guys, Cakes is my favorite guy at your station. I love Cakes so much. He is just a gem of a person. So I know there's a lot of people that only listen to your show, but if people want to tune into the Junkies in the morning, Cakes is an A+ fella.
Nate just cutting Junkies promos. They'll appreciate that. I think. Hold on, dude. Go under the table with this. Sorry, we got power cord issues out here in the field.
We finally got our power cord.
Yeah, we got a lot of moving parts. Yeah. When do you go to Vegas, dude? Get us up to speed on the World Series of Poker stuff.
So, yeah, I go to Vegas on next Friday. So I will actually talk to you guys next Tuesday from New York City. And then I go to Vegas next Friday, and I'm there for about a week. The plan right now is to play pretty much every World Series of Poker event for the week while I'm there. Hopefully make a deep run in something, make a final table, maybe even win a bracelet. We'll see. But, yeah, I'll go there for a week. I'll come back to New York, and then I will go back to Vegas for the main event, which, I think a lot of people think when you think World Series of Poker, you think, the Chris Moneymaker $10,000 main event. It's actually a month-and-a-half long series of a ton of events, but it's known for the main event, and that's always July 4th week. So I will be back out in Vegas July 5th, I believe, for the main event.
All right.
We'll be rooting for you, man.
Thank you.
Confident?
Yeah, no, I feel good. Now, as you guys recall, I did cash the main event last year for my first time, and I think I've only gotten better at poker since last year. So, yeah, I feel good. I feel confident. I've experienced under my belt now, and hopefully I can make a fun run again because I'll tell you what, I mean, the dog days of summer, all I really look forward to is going out to Vegas and playing the main event. And I've played it quite a few times now, and there's nothing more depressing than busting day one. It's like an 8-day event. When you bust day one, it is demoralizing because now you have a whole nother year until you can try again. So it felt so good to cash last year, like get that, just that monkey off my back and just be like, all right, I did what I set out to do. Now I just want to do it again.
Talking with our friend Barstool Nate here on the Rude Guest Hotline. Rude makes the most reliable heating and air conditioning products in the DMV. You can follow the dog at Barstool Nate, at Little Nate X, whatever his TikTok handle is, barstoolsports.com. Let me ask you a question, dude.
Yeah.
The Nats have now won 10 of their last 14. They've got a big time series with the Cubs coming up. Because it's the Cubs, it'll kind of get national attention. Do you think James Wood is starting to get the recognition he deserves?
It's hard to tell, right? Because in our Twitter bubble, he definitely is. But it's hard to tell nationally if he is. But I'll say this. It's wild that the Nats went, Bryce and Strasburg into the Soto regime, now into the James Wood regime. Going back to back to back with generational superstars like this is crazy. Fleecing the Padres in the Soto deal, it will go down, and it already is, as one of the most lopsided trades in sports history, where the Nats are now doing just with that one trade alone is incredible. It's fun to follow and watch these young guys, just develop. James Wood, now they're putting up the graphics comparing him to Soto and Harper through the first X number of games. Yeah, it's like he's hitting more home runs, higher OPS, more RBI than all these guys. And it's like, how did we get so lucky to fall into another just generational superstar like James Wood? He's easily going to win the Nats Triple Crown. And he, he keeps it up. He could be getting MVP votes easily, like not even a question. So I think it's great. The Nats, as we know, and we could talk about the other side of it, the ownership and spending money and blah, blah, blah. it would be a huge fumble to not surround this core with veteran arms and just really just like have a 5-year plan for this core of guys right now, because you cannot waste this. We won the World Series. That whole team got blown up more or less. Now it's time to do it again. I think DC is a very good baseball town, but you cannot fall into the trap of, well, the owners don't want to spend money. We don't need, like, every other day they're selling, they're not selling. Ted wants the team. Ted can't get the team. This has been what, JP, 5 years of this nonsense back and forth? They have to figure it out, because this team right now is too good with too bright of a future to waste and squander.
Yeah, it'd be great if they spend some money.
And when you look at just the baseball, do you feel that the veteran arms is the only thing they need, or is it anything else you're looking at, Nate?
Look, and BMitch, you guys know this. I'm not baseball Nate. I don't know the ins and outs of the organization.
You're Barstool Nate, and you can't stay on the bar. So I mean, on the stool. So I mean, it don't mean just because it's not in your name, you don't know. You shouldn't know how to talk about it.
I talk for the casual baseball fans who gets excited when the home team is good, but I'm not 162 games a season guy. It is probably my only like blank spot when it comes to sports is watching all 162 regular season baseball games. I cannot bring myself to do it, and I can put my hand up and admit it that I'm not a strong enough soldier to do it. But when the team is good and they're interesting and they have a guy like James Wood, people like me start paying attention and we start reading and we start, just getting involved. That's where I'm at right now. And I'm doing my reading and I'm catching up. And what I know now is that this ownership group did not spend money on any arms.
Is Nate telling me he's an FWF?
An
FWF?
Fairweather fan.
He sounds like a kid that didn't do his homework but is trying to convince his teacher that he's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really deny it though, right? Like I will always, root for my teams and all of that. But it just if they shorten the base, I'm on the side of shorten the baseball season. People like me with the ADD and all that, we can't do the long season. But if they shortened it, or if the Nats
what
are generationally good again.
We're moving forward. They're not shortening baseball. We're talking with Baseball Nate here on the Rude Guest Hotline.
This was a nut.
We are in that time of year.
16 games.
So Cakes just showed up, and he looks like a golfer now. That much I can tell you. He was wearing like a hoodie and some gym shorts. Now Valdez is approaching. We're going to give you live breakdown of Valdez's swing here in moments. But Nate Dogg, I think we're getting into the NBA Finals, and people have made like a cottage industry about complaining about NBA ratings.
Yeah,
I think the Thunder are going to smoke the Pacers. Unfortunately, I'll be rooting for the Pacers. But what do you care about NBA Finals ratings talk?
I think
it's coming
this year. I mean, the only team that would boost these ratings are obviously the Knicks, but I think this is a cool NBA Finals. I like when new teams are involved. I like when new superstars emerge. Halliburton, we know, is awesome, and then we know Shea and the entire Oklahoma City Thunder team is very, 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 very good as well. I would love to see the Pacers' depth and experience make this a series. I think Oklahoma City is too good, but I mean, I'll be that guy. People are counting the Pacers out all year, and look at them now. There's really no reason to think they can't steal a couple games and make this a series. I do think OKC has too many good players and just will wear Indiana out. And Shea is just unbelievable at basketball, but there's no reason to think that Indiana can't take this to 6.
But I think when we look at this thing and everybody talks about Halliburton, they forget about Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, most underrated player.
Hell, he was the MVP of the Eastern Conference Final. It wasn't Halliburton,
and he's got a ring.
Yeah, so you think about just Halliburton and forget about him, you got problems.
Yeah, no, I think Siakam's the most underrated player in the league. I mean, he was just an absolute monster in Toronto, and now he's just doing the same stuff down in Indiana. Yeah, you're absolutely right, BMitch. But again, I do think OKC is just too good, but I'm not I don't think I would be shocked if the Pacers won the entire series. I just don't think they're going to. I just don't think they have enough to match up with the Thunder.
I think the Pacers have like the right mindset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the Pacers are the type of team that will never quit or back down. I honestly think the Thunder just plays too good at defense, and they have so much range defensively. And just the damn length they have is incredible.
Yeah, just the size and just aggressiveness. Yeah, but I mean the Pacers are deep, man. They play. It's why the Knicks couldn't hang with them. The Knicks play 6 guys. The Pacers probably go like 10, 12 deep if they want to, all the way down to TJ McConnell. So it'll be fun. I'll be watching every game. I think it'll be a very exciting series. But give me OKC in. I'm not going to say 5. I'm going to say 6.
Okay. OKC in 6.
I can see that. I mean, you got the MVP on the team.
The Thunder.
But both of those teams, I'm impressed by both. Because, when you watch basketball today, it's a bunch of one-on-one. Those two teams play as a team. They're disciplined, and they play great defense. So I'm expecting a damn good series.
Yep.
Talking with our friend Barstool Nate here on the Rude Guest Hotline. Nate, as somebody that is a little bit more removed from like the immediacy of living in DC and living in New York, with you living in New York.
Yep, I do.
What if anything do you make of kind of the national conversation surrounding the Commanders?
The national conversation. Well, clearly everybody in DC loves Jayden, and clearly it's now a cool, popular thing to say that he's going to regress and sophomore slump and all of that. That seems to be where people are at on June 3rd. I know BMitch and I will ignore it because it's just nonsense. I think it's what happens when a team and a player gets good, the haters come out. When we were bad, it was easy to make fun of us, and now we're good, so it's easy to hate us. It happens across every team in all sports. That will be the conversation for the next 10 years because we're going to be very good for the next 10 years, and people will find reasons to hate us. And that's just, hey, heavy is the head that wears the crown. That's us right now. We're wearing the crown.
Haters be your motivators.
Yeah, I mean, we're the kings of the NFL. It is what it is. I love to see it. And if that comes with people hating on us, so be it. So that will be the national conversation. I think all of us, everybody listening, everything, we just can't wait for football season just to piggyback off of last season and see what Jayden can do in year 2. More weapons, better offensive line, more strength, a year of experience under his belt. It's just, and a new stadium on the way. It's awesome. Everything's good right now. Knock on wood, knock on everything.
Dude, I totally agree, honestly. I think, we're going to talk about Jayden Daniels, and people are wondering if he will have this sophomore slump. I just wonder how much better he can be. I just go the other way with that.
The sophomore slump thing kills me. Act like it's only the quarterback. Normally, I look at C.J. Stroud last year. What happened to him? They got Diggs, he was hurt. They had their top receiver, he was hurt. What the hell you expect the quarterback to do? Was he supposed to just throw the ball and catch it himself, be like Ronald McDonald?
Serious O-line issues.
Yeah, so when you have all those things, it happens. But I think Washington has tried to improve this football team, which I think in turn helps Jayden out. And Jayden hasn't lacked working. I mean, he's pushing full speed ahead more than he did last year.
Yeah, and he's going to be in primetime television, for half of the games. I think that'll obviously be a huge topic of conversation as the season goes on. We're definitely that team's on primetime again team now, taking over for the Chiefs, where every day you would look up at your TV. They seemed like they were playing Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night football.
Yeah, there's still plenty of Chiefs games on primetime.
Yeah, I mean, that's us now. And that is, again, a great problem to have. It'll probably frustrate fans around the league, especially like idiot Cowboys fans and trash Eagles fans. But that's what happens when you have Jayden. People want to see him.
Yeah, I think people really want to see Jayden. I think there is understandable excitement for the young man. Also, looking at Stroud, dude, if you want to call it a slump, the only thing that I would find alarming from Stroud's numbers is that the picks more than doubled. Nate, I'll ask you this question, and then B, I'd like this to kind of kick off our next segment, and maybe we even take calls on this. But
calls.
One, I'm going to withhold my opinion because I think I'm just going to hold back. I don't want to lead the witness. There is a school of thought with Jayden where it's like, oh, well, defenses now have a year of film on him, and they're going to game plan him differently. And part of that statement is true. Defenses do have a year of film on him. But Nate, do you expect defenses to have a year of film on him to impact Jayden Daniels negatively more so than any other player?
No, they had film on him week to week last year, and I think defensive coordinators are extremely good at their job in the NFL. I think Jayden was one step ahead the whole time, and I think what helps Jayden so much is he's a great runner, amazing runner. He does not rely on his speed until he has to. He picks up so many first downs on their third and shorts using his legs. But he's also one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league, if not the most accurate quarterback in the league, just based on precision. A lot of drops kind of hampered his percentage last season. But, Jayden is the full package. If you want to let him, run, he'll run. If you're going to let him throw, he'll pick you apart with his arm. So defensive coordinators can try, but Jayden, and credit to Cliff, obviously, stayed one step ahead. And now we have Debo. And, the offensive line with Laramie Tunsil is going to be better, which he really needed last season. And, hopefully something happens at the running back position where, he can rely on the running game a little more. So, no, I don't really understand the regression talk or, the sophomore slump talk. If anything, it's just Jayden's had an offseason to learn the NFL game more. I think people still, and I've said this a million times, but people still forget he was a rookie last year. He was a rookie quarterback picking up the game on the fly with a depleted, roster around him. The roster's better. He's smarter in the NFL game, and people want to say that he's going to get worse. I just don't see it.
I think that the talk about defenses watching him, I don't think they showed everything he could do last year.
Me neither.
I think there's more there, and I think that's why Cliff is smiling and said he expected him to play better. Because Cliff knows what he has, they didn't need much didn't get completely to, they didn't get to 3/4 of that.
This time last year, he was learning the playbook.
Yes.
There was a lot of moving parts for him. Now he knows it. So I want to open the phone lines, 800-636-1067. There's a lot of talk about Jayden regressing. Do you think it's more likely Jayden regresses or actually improves? Because I think you can make a serious argument. I'll make my argument which way I think it's going next. Nate Dogg, always appreciate talking to you, buddy.
Later, buddy.
Hey, have fun at the golf course, fellas. Put on some sunscreen.